We at Redcliffe and I as the director am overwhelmed by God's gracious provision.
How we really do feast in the river of his pleasures, as Psalm 36 talks about.
God has provided in miraculous ways.
What I didn't know is God was providing the way to keep my heart in tune through all of this hardship.
And we lost our maintenance guy, and we buried him on Christmas Eve. But just really thankful that we have the victory through Jesus Christ.
We faint in the day of adversity, our strength is small. And I'm so thankful for God's strength in the midst of the time of adversity and crisis, and that we are able, all of us, to continue to pursue in the strength of the Lord.
But the reality of who we are in Jesus Christ matters much more, even beyond a crisis.
Prayed early on when this first started, Lord, teach us what you want us to learn. And then I prayed the second part that I probably shouldn't have prayed, but is to keep us there until we learn. And that was my fault. but
he's the reason.
And hopefully we're getting to the learning part, so we can move past it. But I'm very thankful that God provides, even in not just financially, which the testimony of all these things is just huge, but spiritually, most importantly, the way God does that for each one of us.
The command to fear not is a command that comes with a promise. And every time you see it, the reminder is, don't fear. Why? Because I'm there.
I was reminded even today of the fact that God doesn't make mistakes.
Just story after story after story, God clearly led us.
I had a heart attack with 5 stents in my heart. My son was bit by a baby copperhead, was in the ICU. Daughter went through epileptic seizures and was ICU. And we finished up the year with my son getting rolled over by an industrial jungle gym. But in all that, giving thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endures forever.
Because he's worthy. And when we think of our great God, he's worthy of that praise at all times. When it's good, when it's bad, when it's ugly, he's worthy of that praise.
Is give place and let God knows what's best. His omniscience is perfect.
He is the health and help of my countenance. And when we have our focus on that, our countenance is uplifted, and our hearts and our souls don't have to be cast down. They can be uplifted.
With all these things that we just have to believe God.
What God is doing in us through this is good. It's not saying we'll never go through another pandemic again, but we will be different because of what God has done through us in this time.
We serve God. Like, there is nothing to be worried about, nothing to be worked up about, because God has this.
It's just the privilege of being on the front line of what God does. I don't know if what's going to happen with the future, but what a privilege it is to know that our commanding officer is God. All-powerful, almighty, all-knowing, never surprised. We're all surprised by this. God knew this was coming. We cannot forget the character of our God.